Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and welcome back to yet another look at a Bakugan Battle Planet toy. Today we are taking a look at the final basic Bakugan that I picked up, Haos Pegatrix. Now, it'll be interesting to see how Haos Pegatrix compares to Darkest Nilius, who I found to be a little bit disappointing, feeling a little bit cheap as far as the materials that were used, but we'll see if Haos Pegatrix is any better. It does look like it uses a nicer plastic, maybe something more on the level of Haos Garganoid, so let's take a look. First, as usual, a quick look at the packaging. The packaging is very straightforward, having a picture of Pyrus Dragonoid on the side with Pegatrix in there kind of all balled up with its wings folded in. Sadly, no instructions or rule book, quick play rules inside. It comes with two fist cores, which I assume are going to be different ones, but that is to align with the card. It does not come with an ability card, although I did get in my Haos Garganoid an ability card that corresponds to it. As it says here on the back, one Bakugan, two Baku cores, one character card. It also has a picture of Darkest Fangor, Aquas Hyderus. It's kind of weird how they have so many Hyderuses on the shelf. There are going to be a lot of Hyderus. I hope people really, really like Shun Kazami. Pyrus Dragonoid, and Ventus Trox, of course. So, let's get this thing open. Okay, now you see, this is exactly what I was talking about when I said that it's really dangerous to ship the cards this way. This was crinkled like this the moment I opened it, so yeah, this happens sometimes when cards are shipped with toys, so I guess it's a good thing that this is a card I won't need to shuffle into my deck, but still, it's a huge pain to get a divot like this just straight out of the box. Yeah, this one, unlike the Ultra one, it wasn't in any kind of protective baggie or protective shield, so these are just eating that damage straight up. And here we have the contents of Core Haos Pegatrix. We, of course, have the Haos Pegatrix in the ball form here. We have two of the Fist Baku cores, although in this case they are actually both different. They both offer a different buff. And, of course, we have the Pegatrix card, which, just like Nilius, has a base 500 power and 2 damage. This seems to be roughly the standard, somewhere in the They have like 7 or 8 points to throw around, and you either toss them into damage or power. So, here we have Haos Pegatrix. I've actually heard a lot of good things about Haos Pegatrix, a lot of discussion on Pegatrix and its presence in the meta, along with Haos in general. Apparently Pegatrix, Trox, and Dragonoid, all the ones that are owned by the core characters, all have a very prominent possible space in the meta, so that's kind of nice. Nilius to a lesser extent. A lot of the support for Nilius is mostly just the cards that have its picture on it. But anyway, let's have a look. It's nice to see another example of the card here, although I wish it came with an ability card. This would have been like the perfect kind of set to include the Blinding Glam card, which features another look at Pegatrix with how it's using this technique, although maybe 3 for -3 damage isn't as good as it used to be. I mean, it's fantastic as a last resort, but I'm looking at a lot of the other cards, and it turns out there's a lot that are like Strength of Maxitor. There are other cards that are that have similar abilities, but you know, Haos still looks like it's going to be a power player here. So here we finally have our Pegatrix. It still feels kind of lightweight, but I actually took a bit of a load off after I filmed the Nilius video, so I've taken another look at Nilius, and I think one of the reasons Nilius feels so cheap is because it's actually, there's a lot of hollow space on Nilius. I mean, there are definitely a lot of nice things I can say about Nilius now that I have a cool head. It does form a perfect sphere, and it does have some very sharp colors to it. Like I said, I was tired when I made that video. It's nice that it all transforms automatically. I just think it has, because it has a large hollow center without too many heavy limbs, that's what makes it feel maybe a little bit cheap. It's just slightly under-designed. Pegatrix, however, does not have the same circumstances. You can see there's a lot of intense design work on here. The color of white that they've chosen, it's actually a slightly off-white. It's like apartment wall white. So it's slightly grayed, and that means that it can really show off the detail. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, even before transformation, you can see how much this thing is bristling with detail, with those distinct feathers and lines, and it's really this slightly off-white, this slightly grayish white that really helps these effects pop. Like with most of the figures that are made using something called neutral gray, which is 19% gray. This is probably more in the range of 4 or 5% gray, maybe even as low as 2. But yeah, it's not pure white, but as a result, that really helps a lot of the details pop a lot more nicely, as you can get a look at some highlights and some shadows as well. So that they made a perfect choice of color for Haos when it comes to showing off that detail. Maybe that's one of the things that affected the Nilius a bit too, is the darkest. The black has a bit of a hard time showing off that detail without having kind of a really obnoxious glare, but this is a really nice color they've got here. So let's see how Pegatrix transforms. Okay, and here we have our Pegatrix. Yeah, we got these nice wings that come up here, and the legs that unfold are actually nice and spring-loaded, as is the head. And I actually thought that the horn was going to be spring-loaded as well, but no, that's just flat-out molded on there. Yeah, you can see a lot more of that lovely detail in the neck and stuff like that. Like, when I first saw this, I knew that the way that the detail just pops on this thing was going to be very nice. I don't know who figured out this color of sort of slightly grayish white to mix, but they did a very good job. There's a lot of really intricate design on there. Like I said, this one looks really nice. I've also taken a look at Trox. Trox also looks really, really nice. It is a core Bakugan, which means it stands up on its own, and yeah, you got the big wings that spread open. Let's take a look underneath those wings. Yeah, they even have like some feathers and detailing underneath the wings that also looks really nice. We have some of the body, a lot of stripes, a lot of detail going on this thing. And there it is again on the butt, 500 power. They like to put them on the butt on a lot of these, huh? If you ask me, I probably would have put it like right in the trough there. Although if you look at it backwards, it looks kind of like an elephant. No, it's an elephant. It's the return of Tuskor, or whatever the elephant Bakugan from the original series was. I mean, just a slight repaint. That's an elephant. But of course, we need to have a point of comparison, and the closest point of comparison that I made in the original video was Darak. I'm going to be comparing it to my my evil twin Darak, because I'm a show-off like that. Evil twin Darak was a special edition of the Haos Darak that had a color scheme that was remarkably similar to this version of Haos, although it has sort of a light bluish silver on a sort of cream-colored off-white. You can kind of make out the big difference between the two, especially if I pull out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you can sort of make out the difference between Pegatrix and Darak, but you can see that they're made of somewhat similar stuff. Darak has a bit of an extra joint in the wing that gives it a bit of an extra spread, but Pegatrix, its legs are spring-loaded with Evil Twin Darak. You noticed I had to flex these legs out. With Pegatrix, not only do they not have those ugly connection points on them, but they are fully spring-loaded. They're actually connected together with each other. I believe they're connected with each other on a single rod that allows them to fold up. And well, they have screws on this side, but the fact that they're spring-loaded, that is one thing that I do like about this new wave of Bakugan, is there is very little additional transformation you have to do, and that is something that they took from Bakutech. That is definitely a huge plus to these, and maybe one of the reasons to help justify the increased price tag is just how complicated some of these mechanisms can be. Like I was saying before, Nilius maybe doesn't quite exemplify that quite as well. It's just a stripped down Ingram for the most part, but this one, Pegatrix, I really like. And like I said, if a big tournament scene shows up, apparently Pegatrix is going to be one to look out for. So that's pretty fun. So let's take a look at the cores here. So this is one of the cores. It is plus 100 B power and plus 3 damage for either Pyrus or Haos. That's the one that my evil twin Darak has landed on. And on Pegatrix, we have plus 150 B power and plus 1 damage for everything. So Pegatrix is designed to benefit from its own cores to increase its G power and damage even more. I'm not sure how much of this carries over to its evolutions. I haven't really gotten the chance to take a good look at the cards, partly because no store near me has put out any of the cards or starter packs or anything. So until I manage to actually get my hands on like an official rule book and get some games on there, I'm not really going to talk about the rules that much, although I have grown to understand a lot of things. The printed G power, the printed B power on these characters is definitely supposed to match the one on the card, although that makes me wonder, one, why didn't they also print the damage on there, and two, are we ever going to get a chance at a variant? That's kind of my worry here. Like Evil Twin Darak here, it is actually completely different in color scheme from the regular Haos Darak. The regular Haos Darak is also covered in the orange and yellow of the Gundalian Invaders Haos, but this one, it has a cream-colored base and light bluish silver highlights, like platinum highlights all over it. That's kind of what I'm wondering if that's going to happen with Bakugan as well. Special treatments were a very fun part of Bakugan. So far we've gotten the Diamond, which has which is partially transparent, but they still play like the regular versions. But I'm wondering if we might get anything like Pearl or like translucent. I'd love to see some translucent Bakugan, ones that reveal all the innards. People really like the translucent Bakugan and the Pearl Bakugan. It'll be interesting to see if we at least get like some sort of alternate color. I mean, with New Vestroia and Mectanium Surge, they went kind of insane on the sheer number of special treatments they did, but if you look at something like Gundalian Invaders or the original, they had like the reverse colors and stuff like that, and that's kind of my worry, because these things don't have attribute logos on them anywhere too, unlike my Darak here, who somewhere on them, yeah, right on the front, has the Haos logo on them. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to make any special treatments. Now, to actually transform Pegatrix, it is fairly simple. You curl up the legs so that they tuck safely inside. The head, you break her neck, and break it all the way back in there. You tuck in the tail, and finally, you just close the wings shut. Very simple, very straightforward, doesn't even really need instructions, although maybe that was a bit more complicated. That felt like more complicated than Hydarus, maybe even. But yeah, that's Pegatrix for you. It is going to be the final Bakugan I look at for a while until I manage to find some more. Apparently, the ones that I did get for these past few reviews, I obtained through sheer dumb luck. So, Target officially resets on the 6th. With any luck, then this video will actually be out on the 6th, although we'll see how much I'm able to get on the 6th. I have a birthday I need to help celebrate on that day. So, alright, so that's a look at Pegatrix, and that, as well as Nilius, and that is a look at the new Bakugan Battle Planet Basic Bakugan. When we come back, hopefully I'll be able to get something like the case, the starter set, the decks, the booster packs, and I'll actually be able to talk about the games and the cards, as well as reflecting my thoughts on the first 20 episodes of the series, which were put out on the Cartoon Network website. So, until next time, this is Kodak signing off.
Bakugan Brawl needs a big brawl. Bakugan Brawl is for it all. Bakugan Brawl, standing tall, we're the awesome ones. Powers in our hand, take a stand, saving everyone. Bakugan